Hello, everybody. Welcome. Rosa Psych Investigator. Hello, huh? Everybody, welcome. Rosa Psych Investigator. I don't know if you can see me. Hello. Hello, huh? Oh, hi. Okay. So, guys. Okay. So this is I sometimes from time to time I do. Oh, what is smart? Like the keys are together with our microphone. What is my? And guys, I don't want to remove the microphone because you know what happens, right? There was one time when I tried to unplug it, and the whole thing went mute. So I have to stay here with the keys. Yeah, if it falls, it's okay. It's better than the key. It's out of office. Who? I don't know. Somebody. Huh? So anyway, guys. So thanks for joining the journey together. Because you know what it was. Okay. So okay. Nice to see. Okay. So you know what it is, guys. Honestly, it's that. First of all, I have to say that the reading when we did the reading about the veterans, I was very moved. I was moved, but I was moved by seeing you moved. Okay, it was just like really interesting, and I don't know how it happened. Also, that I noticed some of you talk about pets. Okay, and I'm not saying that it's not to say that I want to be doing all like I rarely do this like group stuff. You know, and I was like, oh my god, I have so much to do. I can't believe I'm always worried that I overcommit. You know what I mean for stuff like that. But anyway, so I just thought it's interesting, because I think the times that we're living in, the political stuff, all of course we know it's going to be there, but it's just interesting, to find out. And so many people get strength from animals, and like even for me, guys, I just have to say, there's somebody in the group. I believe she may be still. Her name is Diane. I did a reading for her. She had lost her dog, like passed away, and it was one of the most because as I write, guys, as I write about as I do the thing, the what is it called, the newsletter, right? I had so many interesting experiences, and I think in that reading was one of the most. It was very interesting because there's so much that we don't know about. There's so much that we don't know about animals, right? And it was so interesting because it showed. I mean, there was an hour long, roughly, okay. So it's not the same. I'm not going to be able to do this, but it was so interesting because it showed that how animals perceive the world very differently, how much we project and how much, like, it was just really interesting, things that I would never have thought, right? I never, like, we have no idea, right? How animals are, why do they exist for us? Like, because, I love, it's so freaky. I'm like, oh, a dog. It's like, of course I don't have it's not the same, but it's sort of like, I can understand how some men are like, a girl, like they look at women, like, ooh, look at that one, huh? It's like me with dogs. A dog, I'm talking to someone. There's a dog, and whoo, I know what's going on. There's a dog coming. It's so strange. It's very strange. I don't know what it is. It's like, oh hi, how are you? It's very odd, but it is. What can I say? It's a natural connection. Natural connection. Uh, I don't know. It's okay. So I'd like to understand. You know what I mean? I there was so many. Like I said, the thing about the reading with Diane is like so interesting. It was just so interesting. Okay. Like, oh, what's going? Hi, and then my voice goes, hi, like, how are you today, huh? How's it going? How's it going? Like, it's so strange. I don't know why, but also. So let's get started. So I created a list. Okay, it's not that I'm gonna be strict about the list, but it's kind of, I know, like, for stuff I remember there was. So I just a couple notes before I get started. So this was the first time I ever created a class. I have something on upper lip. Was that right? Upper lip? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, oh, so sorry. I was having salad. Yeah. So anyway, so okay, just going back here, guys. So the thing I want to say, this is so in terms of, okay, guys, thank you. So in terms of the way I organize this, I use the calendar application that I use for personal readings, so that I realized it worked out really well. And I think, okay. And the other thing, the other reason why I created I limited the appointments, even though I even went way far. I just wanted to leave it open enough that it wouldn't be like so. Because what the other thing is, some people may not, they may have something else, or they may have, so just gives enough. There's room for a lot of people. And because what happens, guys, is that once you get started, I realized from the veterans reading, the other day when I did some of you who are on the line, a couple of you, it was really hard, even two people, to read what you were saying, because there's one person that you say most people. I mean, it's not a complaint. It's just, it is what it is. When we're on the live stream, there's no complete sentences, so I'm just like, oh wait, and then it's hard to like try to even find what the person is saying. So having the questions beforehand, even if I may have a question about the question, it's okay. But having the question beforehand, it's much easier for me, and it flows better. And if you have to do something, check where you are, and then it may come back later. You don't have to be here, because I was like, first I thought, oh, I'm gonna check if they're on, but I'm like, no, because then it's too complicated, right? So you just have kind of an idea of things, okay? Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so that's just a protection. But if the light comes on top of my head as I breathe in, I feel my legs over that. Project like a heart, project like a heart. That's true. Step into it and feel protect the light. That's for me. Only from the highest sources, a great for everyone here in the gold. Okay. All right. So let's see here. Okay, so I have to have the list and then the thing. 1 second here, because okay, so let's see here. Clicking. Okay. So Barbara, I'm gonna start. Okay, sorry, Barbara. Our dog, the dog's name is Belle. Okay. So I'm gonna read here the question. Our dog died very suddenly and unexpectedly. I was at her side at the vet for the last 3 hours. She was alive. I hope the pain was not too bad, because I am still so sorry about it. Just yesterday, I saw an old photo of Belle from 2009. I was filled with a rush of love and grief, even though Belle died in April of 2016. Is she okay? Okay. So Barbara, okay. So this is the thing, and this reminds me a bit of the initial reading I had with Diane. Okay, the energy, how pets experience all of the things. Okay, so dogs, what I'm gonna say here, guys. Every reading is different, obviously, right? And I may get different information for it, but also like quote unquote lessons from each different person. So here it's saying that there's issue was at the table, but what dogs experience, because we have the difference between dogs and humans among many, right? Is that we have stories. We have stories, and we understand the world in a kind of a with greater complexity. Okay, so we name certain things pain, and we know that their life is finite and all those things. And dogs, they're saying the dog is just, it's sort of essentially a form of energy. It's saying, how like kind of like it seems like almost childish when the explanation about the world, like let's say God or the universe creates this beautiful world with so much life, and includes plants and animals and all that. And so animals, think of it as a painting, right? Like think about the universe and how you experience life as a painting, but a painting made out of energy, right? So the dogs or animals in general are just a different form of energy. They're just energy. And so, but the difference between them and us is that it's not about the energy being refined, but that they don't have the same, their understanding of life has to do with, they need a human to connect with, okay, in order to like fulfill, right, their sense of life. The life energy is a bit like think about it like a battery, like a cell phone, and then the human being like the energy, that connects to the cell phone. They don't necessarily need to be with the human, right? They could be with each other and so forth. But that's kind of what they are. They are plugged in, right, to this living energy, and they are much more. That makes explains why dogs, like people, like they like them because I am an energy person. I think because they connect on an energetic level. They're not like, oh, who's that person? Do we go to? Do we have something to talk to each other about? Do we? It's just a very simple understanding of the world. It's like energetic. So it was telling me that when the dog was in pain, the dog was not experiencing pain in the way, obviously they feel pain, right? But it's a little bit like, for example, when you're dizzy, when you like haven't, it's a bit dehydrated, is that feeling of like there's the normal and there's something a little abnormal. So that's what it feels like to them. It's the sense of abnormality. But it's not the same here. The sense when animals feel pain, it's not as connected to, it's not loaded with all the meaning that we associate with pain. It's not like emotional pain and all those things. Okay, so now here I'm going to go on a tangent, but I think it's irrelevant here. Okay, I may have talked about the situation once that I read one time an article about this woman who she's being studied by scientists because she doesn't feel pain. Okay, so she doesn't feel pain, and that means, for example, like she's in her 70s or something like that, and it's a problem because she broke her hip several times. She doesn't feel anything. Oh, it's kind of just I feel a little bit sort of discomfort, a strange discomfort. I feel. Oh, that's like because she doesn't feel. So it's dangerous because she can get burned. She's gonna get all kinds. And then she's like huge burn. Oh, how strange. So she doesn't feel. But the other element of the pain, it's not just that it's physical pain, but for example, she takes risks because she doesn't also feel the pain, like sadness. She doesn't feel it. So she has no. How do I say this? It's like she takes more risks. She doesn't think that life is going to be difficult or something because she has never really experienced pain in any way. Right? So it's just a very interesting. So what I'm saying, I'm going back to this because it's like the aspect of pain, how we humans think of pain as something that is all encompassing, because it is, right? It's like it connects to sadness, depression, all different things. But for the dog, it's just like imagine being out of battery. Okay, so this is what it is. So guys, yeah, no, there's a lot of people who have like fibromyalgia, right? Like all kinds of very extreme pain, but it is what it is. Like it's, you can look it up. The woman who never felt pain. It's like I think she's in England or something. Like it's very interesting. So this is it. Okay. So this is it. This is it. So the answer is no, because what you're saying, like what you're saying, so Barbara is feeling like the pain that you feel sorry about is your empathy, Barbara. You have empathy towards the dog. And therefore you feel like she must be feeling so much pain because you're connecting to your sensation of like how she fulfills you and all those things. So it's kind of like you're projecting your empathy onto, I mean, I'm not saying, that she didn't suffer, but she has a much different understanding, a very different understanding of how what the meaning of pain, and that she exists still there. And the other, it's saying like the other side is sort of like, imagine the same thing of a painting, right? Imagine a huge painting except that it's made out of vibrations of energy as opposed to colors, so that tells us kind of like how it is. Okay, because in the end it's like God, and it's not about religion or anything. It could be like whatever, however you see the world. Okay, I do believe there's another side. I do. And so over there, we exist like an orchestra of vibrations. You know what I mean? Like different things. Like there's a human form also, they're saying, to make us understand it, right? But it exists there with us like our own little like vibration thing. You know what I'm saying? Okay? All right. So is she okay? Oh yeah, this is fine. I'm fine. I'm here. I joined the painting. I'm back with the painting. I'm fine. But it's not, you know what I mean? So it's like she's just part of like the universe. Okay, so yeah, okay, so okay, next person. Okay, all right, close here, close. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, okay, Cynthia has many questions. Okay, let's see. Okay, I want to complete it. Oh, it's good. Okay, so okay, now let's see. Okay, so she has many questions. Now I don't know if I'll be able to cover all of them. Okay, but let's see. Okay, so Cynthia. Okay, so Cynthia also, we had a cover the cell phone. So we had also read about her dog. Her dog she's also a dog person. Okay, so just interesting here. We'll see. Okay, guys, isn't that interesting? I feel like it's so interesting. It's a lot of interesting. Okay. Everything is interesting here. I don't know. It's just so new. So okay. So first is Dusty. Okay, Dusty. I got her for Christmas in third grade, and she died in my sophomore year in college. One night, she didn't come home for dinner, and I knew she had died. Did she die of natural causes? We found her body days later, but couldn't tell. Okay. Her name is Dusty. Okay, so what happened? Okay, so what I think, Cynthia, I don't know if you lived in a kind of like a wooded area, or the dog was like walk, like, because I see that the dog was like in a kind of like area where there's like a trees. It looked like the fall to me. I don't know why. Like I see the leaves on the ground. Okay. And so like the dog is like walking whatever, and then I see that like the little the front paw, like what I think may have happened, that she may have like did like she like sometimes in those areas there's like a hole, or like they're walking and they're like very like going fast, and they could have slipped, something happened to the leg, you know what I mean? I don't know, called the paw or like whatever. They may have broken the leg. Okay. Or like something that way that was not expected. I don't think it was a heart condition. Okay. And I'm sorry to say this, I do think she could have died of thirst, or like something where like she was caught, like imagine like sort of this story, like she's lipped or something, she was like running or whatever, and then but I feel like the dog was kind of athletic. It was not like I'm not saying that the dog is not fit to go to the gym, go to the gym, no, not like that, no. It was like the normal, and then something happened, like discomfort, and then something like they couldn't, it just was really hurt. This is what I feel. I also felt like, could it be there was some sort of heart attack? For some reason, no, I don't think it was. It was like kind of like painful and lost. And then after a long time, it was just like couldn't move or so. That's what I think. Even though I don't know that I don't know that it was like, I don't know that it was okay, because I see then the dog like on the ground like that. Okay, so tell me, what was it? He was not feeling well. And it didn't know. It was like, ooh, ooh, like towards the end, okay, ooh, ooh, like that. Like, and then it died. I think, but I'm sorry to say, like, it's okay, but don't, guys, I don't feel okay. So, so I do not believe that it was a foul play. I don't think, okay? I really don't believe, okay? I don't believe. And I also think though that there's this possibility that there's like some sort of ate something, could be that too. Like I just feel like something happened doing, because when I see the dog walking, he was fine. And then something happened. I don't know if they ate some, it could also be that something on the way. I don't think it was a human who like was like, oh, I killed the dog. Okay. It was more like something happened. It could also have been that it was like feeling something. Sometimes like for example, cats do that. Or like they, even dogs, I think if they feel something in the stomach, they try to eat something. They all go dig for something. So that's my sense. Okay, then died, passed away like that. But I don't think, unless it does very dramatic. It just happens, okay? So, but don't feel okay. So, she's like, I had a great life, had a great life. So don't worry about, it's like, don't feel bad. Okay. Don't feel, guys, you should not feel that you were, you know what I mean? There's nothing you could have done in those circumstances. Okay. It's just, and the dog, I think it wasn't the first time the dog was traveling, traveling or walking. Right. So it's okay. It had a good life. Okay. 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 Next. Okay. I will just quickly here. Okay. So, okay. Cody, my first German Shepherd since Dusty bought him when I was 30-ish. Died of cancer, but had full life. Was he happy with me? I was very much a novice with German Shepherds. And at the time, I feel some guilt for my lack of knowledge. Okay, so the second one here says that It's interesting. The show, The Happy Meal, like I said before, guys, got dogs. They don't have a comparison. Like, I don't know if I like that. Not like humans. Like, I think I need to get a divorce now. I don't know if I'm very happy. It's just like you connect with a dog, and it's like an electricity. You know what I mean? You connect, plug in, and it's the dog feeds from that connection. Okay, that's my sense. So it's not a matter. It's almost like this is the world I was born into. It's the only world I know. And of course, when they disconnect from the owner, they just need to connect stronger to another person. It's not to say that they get sad, obviously, if something happens to the owner, but then they can reconnect. If they find another connection with somebody, they're fine. Okay. So what I sense here about this dog, though, is that is a he, right? He was kind of like on alert a lot. Like, is that, I don't know, just like, but and I think it's like, it felt like you had to be more on guard than usual. Like, I don't explain it. Like, it's kind of like, it was like the man of the house kind of feeling. Okay. Like, who? Excuse me? What? Gotta go. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It was like a soldier. Like, I gotta go. Somebody at the door. Who? Somebody at the door. I gotta go. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like very on alert a lot. Like, kind of stressed out. I know what you mean. Like, kind of stressed out. Oh, like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, and I think it's like, it was like, it's not there was some dog, to be honest. Okay. So to be honest, Cynthia, like, I feel like, sometimes dogs take over. Like, if you're not strong with them, they kind of walk over you a little bit. Like, not like the dog was walking over you, but it was like, if you don't let you kind of dog, especially those types of dogs, there are defense dogs. You have to be like, you can't do this or not. And they're okay with it. But if you don't, then they just take over. Those type people that like you see the Caesar. This the Caesar show. Don't talk about the Caesar show. It's fun. I like watching the show. It's so interesting. But it's sort of like sometimes the dog, if you don't assert the rules, the dog's like, what the hell are you again? I'm in charge here. Yeah. No, so it's not that the dog was like that, but it felt to others, it was a very aggressive dog. And you know what I mean? Love not to you, but to the people, it was not a very like to others. It wasn't like the most social dog to others, okay, necessarily. It was just like always like, oh, what? So okay. So okay. Okay. Oh my God. So Cynthia, I'm aware of the time. Okay. So is it okay if I just keep for two now? Okay, because yeah, right. So it's just, is it okay? Because there's a couple of others, but I feel like okay, all right, okay, because otherwise I'm concerned about time. Okay, so say here completed. I'm gonna mark completed. Okay, so nice. Okay, so Alan, let's go Alan. Click. Okay. Okay. So Dobby Doe, be short for Dobrinka. Have my pets from the past reincarnated to my lucky dragon dog I have now. I don't know what that is. What is lucky dragon dog? I don't know. Is that an actual dog? I don't know. Anyway, so her name is Macy. So essentially, is that right? Ellen's question is whether the pets from the past have incarnated to my lucky dragon dog named Macy. Is that right? Okay. So no, I have a sense because I see these dogs. I see these dogs over there and they're like on the other side, okay? Okay. I see these dogs on the other side. They're a bit like notes, like music. If the thing about the energy, right? Is a bit like musical notes, like ooh, doo, 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 like something pure, like the energy. And their vibes are there. There are several of them over there, different sizes, different things, and they're like, and the energy. Everybody, it's almost like a different flavor, like a different soup or something. Different, a little bit different. They just have a different tone. Different tone. In other words, no, I don't think it's not. So I don't think they're still there. They're on the other side. I don't know. They haven't said they. I don't know if they. Maybe you know what? I don't know if it's do dogs reincarnate. I don't know. Is it okay? Can I ask this question? Generally, okay. So the answer is no. I don't think she has. Like the dog is a reincarnation of another one. So is it okay? I'm just curious. Okay, what happens to animals? Because guys, I've read. Okay, so long story. I go off a tangent, but I've read on and off that people can. I don't know if do people reincarnate as animals or what? Do do animals reincarnate as the same type of animal or I don't know? Just curious. Okay, it doesn't mean that I'll have a okay. So okay, let's find. It's always helpful. Okay, so what's so interesting, guys? I feel like what I saw here is like that. At least this in this moment, okay, that dogs don't not reincarnate as people. Okay, they're not human, and because told me that humans have memories, right? It's like you have a knowledge of the past, and you have it's a different category of I guess vibration or something like that. Okay. Now what I saw about the dog, which I thought was interesting, that the dog, but maybe what, maybe I saw butterfly, like one of the dog's ear could become a butterfly. So the answer is that it could be okay. So okay, just give me okay. So from the level the questions here that I see, just okay. So the question is from all the people that have had pets and that are in this group. Okay, from other okay, so from all the people that are like in this group, has any of the dogs have they reincarnated in some way? And how do they do they choose their owners like we is there a purpose, is there a connection? Yes. It's I believe, guys, it's possible that they could reincarnate as different animals, maybe. Okay, but it's not clear to me, guys, okay? I feel like animal to animal, there's a bigger connection, or like animals with insects. Okay, can dogs become butterflies? Like, no. It interesting. You know what I think? Okay, this is what I think from my understanding here, that like think of like God creating these animals. It's almost like a God creates a full orchestra of sounds and experiences. And dog or flower or whatever, it's like it's a vibration, is a level of vibration, okay, or like a color, something like that. So this is within their field. I said this is why I don't believe that it exists. They may stay within that. I don't know that it's because it's telling me here that the purpose of dogs, okay, um, in terms of our lives, is to give a kind of a color. It's truly to give color to our lives and to give depth to our emotional experience, to validate our emotional experiences and the power of love, really, right? So it's kind of like it's telling me here that it's like because as I was asking about Ellen, what I asked was it showed me that the dog that she has, it was like, oh, it was a specific tone that she had to experience in this time in her life. So that's what it is. It's sort of like it comes, dogs, obviously dogs, we can have several dogs in a lifetime. So each dog comes with a specific, it's like giving it's almost like it sounds bad to say like it's a perfume, but colors your life in a certain way, and it's like gives a certain richness to it, adds to something you have to experience, you have to go through, I think. Okay, so that is that. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so but I think, guys, I do believe my sense here is that I think Alan's saying here, I felt that my cat came as another cat to be with me. My sense about it is that it's not the same. It's not like, it's not the human. We are like human. We project a lot onto animals, as we all know, right? That I think animals, it's more like we need them as opposed to they need us, in a way. Okay. In the sense that there's the purpose of it's not as if they're like, oh, I want to be with her. I want to be with her. It's sort of like, it's more like that we need it's part of our journey to be with them. Okay. In the sense that it's like I said, it's sort of like, not to say like looking at an eyeshadow, but it's something that adds to your life, or something, it's an extra, or like something like that, like an emotional help, or content. There's something about it, okay, that teaches, animals teach us a lot. But I do not think it's sort of like it's saying sort of like, for example, that you need a vitamin. So they like before we come, they say, oh, you need to have this dog at this time because you need to learn this thing. Okay, exactly. So then they come. It's not as if they don't have the same level of consciousness that we have, even on the other side. They're just a sort of form of pure energy, or like think about it like a spiritual nutrition, something like that. Okay, so that's my sense. So do I think that they? Do I think no? So in other words, the answer to whether they want to be with us, it's a different question. It's like we are projecting our need and necessity to be with the animal, with the, you see what I'm saying? So it's not that it's not mutual. It is like they really love, they feel love, but it's a different level of consciousness. Okay, right? So okay, so talking too much. So I hope I have time, because but it's interesting, right? Okay, so I'm gonna close. Oh, is that right? I'll close here. Okay. Okay, so all right. Okay. Joe and K. Let's see, Joe and K. Okay, so Oliver dog and Olivia dog. Just say hi for me and tell them I love them and I miss them. Yeah. So it's like, yeah. I mean, it's so funny. It's like it's kind of cute because I see them like in the living room there, like with a they have a pet, something on their mouth, like come here, play, and and I think they're like, well, whenever they're there, you meet I believe, okay, I believe we meet again. All of us are gonna meet pets again. Okay, so so I think I really do. Okay. So they're just very happy. I see they're kind of I don't know if they're fluffy. They look fluffy to me. They're just kind of like fun. Had a great life. Had a great life. They're like having fun. They're just kind of like pure energy, really pure energy. Okay. So yeah, it's fluffy. They're kind of fluffy. I don't know. So so anyways, so yeah, they're happy. They just very happy, not happy. So I just wanted to say, guys, the thing about us meeting our pets is, like I told you before, the my friend who passed away, and she came to me when I was going through a very hard period, and the lights kept blinking, and I saw her on the other side, okay, and I saw her with this big dog that I had once, dog sat, and another cat that she had. I was like, oh, that's him, Horaci, there you are, huh? So yeah, they say hello. It's part of our, our, like, let's say that it's a little bit like, guys, not that we have little a baggage of some sort, but it's like energetic baggage in a good way. It's the energetic group, and there they are, kind of like, it sounds strange to say, but it's sort of like, you're going to cook something, you need a side order, like you need to have, like a steak or whatever, vegetarian, or like a main course and something to the side. That's the dog is like the side dish of life. I don't know. I don't know. It's funny. I hope I know I don't mean to minimize animals, but some of them. Okay, okay. So okay. Okay. Now, Karen Z. Karen Z. Karen Z. Okay. So Karen Z. Kirby. Okay, Kirby. Kirby, when she passed, she was downstairs in the living room and I was asleep upstairs in bed. I woke up feeling alarmed and I went downstairs to find her gone, but she was still warm. I've always wanted to believe her spirit came to me to let me know she was leaving. Could you ask? I also have a new little doggy, Lucy, who sometimes I want to think is Kirby reincarnated. She was born a few years after Kirby passed. Could you ask about that also? Okay. So Kirby, she was the one where the believe spirit came to me. Let me know she'll be. Okay. Okay. So I feel like yes, it's possible that I think because I see this light, there's like a ray of light or something like something you maybe felt something in your nose, like in your face, or there's something like you kind of could feel it, like you felt there was something. I don't know, explain it. There's some sort of connection, like energetic connection. You know, when you feel like somebody is at home, or like I don't know how to explain it. You just kind of know. And she said goodbye. And I think dogs, dogs have a mission. Okay, they have missions. Um, to be with us for a certain time. And then she was like, call back. So, yeah, it's time to come back. Coming back, no? Come back. So she just said goodbye. Okay. And as far as you asking if she is I have a feeling it may sound like a strange thing to say, but that the Lucy is the daughter of Kirby. Obviously not in the same life. I freeze sperm. I freeze uterus sperm for a dog. No, not like that. But something like they have they've been mother and daughter in a different life. Yeah, yeah. They have a connection. I think it's the daughter. She's like, yeah. Kirby's like, I have several. Yeah, two or three. Yeah. So I feel like she was guided by the other one, Kirby. That's what I think, but not the same. They know each other. I know Kirby. I know him. Oh, her, right? I know her. So, oh my god, close. Okay, so Karen. Oh, the close. Oh god, okay, so this is the answer. This is the answer. Okay, so wait. Uh, okay. So let's see here. Jane, Jane. Okay. So Jane, Jane. Okay, so let me just since you're here, I'm gonna talk about Jane. Okay, she's a different spot on the list, but since you're talking about it, I need to share the story about the Bobcat. Bobcat. So Jane here, Revel Garla. So this is kind of an interesting story. So I had the reading with Jane one time, and she asked me about the cat. And I remember it was an interesting moment. And I haven't you haven't told me, Jane, what happened. So she said, "What's wrong with my cat? It's not eating very much." And then I said it was very strange because I was like, "Well, say it's saying here fatty liver, fatty liver." And I didn't know. I mean, I'm not a veterinarian. I don't know anything about. I really don't know. I don't even have animals like these days. But so anyway, so it said fatty liver. So I searched as we were talking. I was like, oh, let's look up cats fatty liver, and it said, oh, it's a very serious issue with cats. If okay, so it's a very serious issue with cats. Okay, so then she said, right, Jane is the same one. Is that correct? Right? That then maybe he was sick, and then she and I was like, oh, don't be. She's like, oh my god, I love it. Can't. And it sounded serious from what they were describing, that it was like sometimes a cat doesn't eat, and stuff like that. So I don't know if you're there, if you could give me updates on him. I don't know if is that what happened to him. I don't know. I'm just curious. In my eyes, it's a self-absorbed question here. Okay, so I don't know if you know Jane. Okay, so okay, so because here then she wrote the question. Okay, because then her question is, Bobcat's passing was difficult as I couldn't reverse his suffering with more medical intervention. Sorry, I don't want to buzz. Okay. Okay, with more medical intervention, how does he feel about that? Does he forgive me? Still love me? Thank you. Okay, so that is the background. Okay, so Zayn, maybe she's not watching. Maybe she'll take a break. I don't know, because I was just because you know how it is. I got distracted sometimes. This is an interesting story here. Okay, so Oh yeah, that's right. Because they said one of the things, right? Because one of the things that it says they could die quickly because they don't eat, right? That's right. Because it says that the disease of the fatty liver, the problem is that it's like very uncomfortable for them to eat, so they don't eat, and then they die of starvation. Basically, it's not just the disease itself. Okay, so so interesting. Okay, so he's saying here, no, it's like the same thing. It's like this unplugging. Okay, there was like unplugging. Okay, of this like, does he forgive me? You know what's so interesting? I'm getting this about the bobcat, and maybe cats are different. Okay, that the energy I get here is that he was there to protect you. Like it's not okay. For example, how do I say this? Dogs have this energy that they like. Oh, they want to. They have this playful thing about them, and like they kind of like are there to. They need to connect with you. Like you're the source. With cats, it's a little different. It's not that they're it's not that they're colder, but they feel like they I had to be there. Like it's almost like, how do I say this? It's like the cat feels like it's more in control, in charge or something. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't it's not that it's not connected to to you the same. It's just a different, like it was like this was my house. It was like, oh, I was there in that environment and there they were, it was nice, but it wasn't like it doesn't feel like the cat depends on you as much, quite as much. It was more like they gave me a territory. Yeah, it was nice, very nice. Thank you. Like, and they took care of the territory, and you happen to be there also, because I see that everything from the cat for the cat is from his perspective. Okay, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like it's this person in my environment. It's like it's showing me here the cat walking is like it's kind of like yeah, it's my house. They're very connected to an environment or a place. Okay, much more than the dog. Okay, so it's interesting. The dog is more connected to the person, and the cat is more like I take care of this. It's not that it's reversed from what I usually think of dogs as more. I'm sorry, cats as more fragile, but they don't act like that. They seem to be much more about I am the keeper of the environment. And what's telling me, guys, it's funny because I have taken care of cat sitting a little bit. And I know I just come out. I am a dog person, okay, to be honest. But the interesting thing about cats, I think they are more sensitive. They're sensitive to spirits, I think, and it's telling me here that they see sometimes spirits come to their environment. They're like, get away, bitch, because they take care of the environment. It's interesting, no? I think that dogs take care of us, and cats they take care of the entire environment. I don't explain it. It's just like that's what it feels like to me. That they are kind of like it's their field, and they kind of clean the field kind of feeling, okay, in a different way than we think. It's they're like I said, it's just that they have a connection to a space, and they have a connection to you, but they took care of you and everything, but they seem to me like they are right. It's like they take care of, like, I don't know, it's so interesting. I used to think it's not that dogs don't, but cats are like, they seem like the parents, like they act like we're in charge here. We're in charge of this place. What's going on? What's going on? Huh. So so interesting. Okay. So talk about hi. How are you today, huh? Interesting, interesting. Interesting. Uh, So funny. Okay. Okay. So no, he's not mad. No, no, no. It's like because he saw the mission as taking care of his space. Almost like he was more of a caretaker, almost like a spiritual caretaker, like a I don't know, like a magician or something. I don't know. It's interesting. You know what I mean? Like it's fascinating. It's interesting. Okay. All right. So next, I have to go, guys. I'm slow. I'm slow as you'll see. Okay. Now going here, Donna AIDS. Donna AIDS. Okay. So here. Oh. Okay. Completed. Close. Okay. 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 So Donna AIDS. Okay. Snickers and also Dugan. Just want to know that you're happy and together, and to know that we all miss you. Much love to the best pets ever. Yeah, it's so interesting. It's so interesting. It's so interesting because I feel like they're also very chill, But it's the image I got here, Donna, is very interesting that the dog, the a dog, and your dog also is like it's like I don't want to cheapen, okay, the idea of a dog, but it's almost like a scrapbook. It's kind of like a memory connection. It's sort of like imagine it's sort of like the dog. The dog doesn't have the memory, obviously, does not have the same memory as humans do, but we have memories with the dogs. So the connection, it's sort of like it makes life more special, even in the simple, the simple ways. Like animals have this thing, like they have no agenda, like other than I need the food. I need food and the comfort a little. Okay, but really like they just have it's so interesting that it makes the simple things and more important or like it and then you think of a dog. I think especially you, Donna, right now, right? Think of this dog and then oh there's like this memory. And I think there's a lot of family memories here. Okay, especially I don't know if you have a black dog, but it looks like a I don't know, some sort of like darker fur spaniel-ish. I don't know what the name of that, but it's like kind of like really pretty, kind of like, hey, what's up? Like, so this is interesting. So okay. So is that okay? All right. I think they're happy there. Um, oh, 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 what is it? Oh, what is it? Cavachon, cavachon, cavachon. No, no. So yeah, so that's my sense. It's just like kind of like a very good like because I see the dog walking and there's all these memories stuck to the dog like a scrapbook. Let's go ahead into this one. Okay, so close next here. Okay, Donna age now. Sally age. Sally age. Okay, so here let's see. Hunter. Hunter. Is Hunter happy and at peace? We still have his ashes and have debated putting them under a tree in our backyard or putting him in an urn in our house. Does he have a preference? He was a rescue dog and I just want him to know he's still loved. Okay. Oh my god, it's actually very moving. I'm gonna cry. No, not crying. No. I'm not crying, no. So very interesting here because I feel like this is the thing. Okay, so I kind of feel like he prefers the urn. You know what I think? I think he likes to be inside the house with you guys. Okay, my sense because he's sort of like he's kind of pointing like I want to hang out with the family. Okay, like kind of like it's nice to be near you guys. It's nice that I was with you in an intimate setting. It's not that I don't want to be like, but who knows who's gonna dig something, gonna you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of out there in the elements. You know, you don't. I'm not saying he's like he just is. Obviously, he doesn't care. Not obviously, but he's not like he cares either way. But I feel like if you also think of me as being companion, and therefore in an intimate setting, like near with you guys. Like I feel like it was a place where family hung out. Is that right? Here, under in an urn in our house, exactly. But sort of like a place where you hung out because you said tree, and it's funny. I see a Christmas tree, so I don't know. Kind of like a place where if there was a place that was warm that he liked to hang out at or something like a place where the family gathered. So okay, now the other thing that is very moving, okay, I'll tell you, this kind of amazing. He said I was a rescue dog. I came to the world like needing a lot of love because, and it's like, oh my god, I want to cry about this. Is amazing because he's saying that, oh my god, that what when we rescue animals, it's because they feel like it feels to us like they need more love, but it's sort of God's way of saying that when you give more love you get more love. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like it's ironic that when we think, oh, I need to help a dog, we're helping ourselves, because when we rescue the animal that is like needs more, right, from our perception. It's kind of like you need the healing that comes from taking care of an animal that needs a lot from your perspective. Does it make sense? So it's almost like at the end, the quote unquote rescue dog is more like a balm, like a balm of connection. You know, it's so interesting because it's saying I came to their life because they needed a lot at the time, and oh my god, it's not sad, you know, just because it's, as you know, guys, you know by now it's true. It's not that it's like, you know, just because it's truthful. It feels very truthful here, you know, that like he's saying that I was like I had these, you know, and so if they could take care of me, I could give them the the love that they, you know what I mean? So it's saying it's God's way of fooling us. Yeah, you think you're gonna help somebody, but you help yourself. You know what I mean? We rescue each other. Oh my god, oh nice the movie. I'm crying. A Hallmark movie. A Hallmark movie. But that's what it feels like, honestly. Like he came, you know, and it was like that. It was so interesting, you know. It was like sort of like a package, right? And when you're saying here, when you care for the animal in a time of need, your need, then you kind of, because guys, and I have to tell you, this may be kind of like I feel like it's connected to something I have read about a lot in terms of the healing. Okay, so long story. I have interest, as you know, in the nervous system, and there's a lot of like a lot of literature says that a lot of the disruptions. There's many reasons why we have lately had a lot of nervous system disruptions. Okay, and so one of the things is that usually the parasympathetic part of the body. Okay, in other words, the part that calms us down. It's not always that the parasympathetic part of the automatic nervous system calms us down, but a lot of times it does. It has like the, you know, because all the automatic functions, they're separated between something that is exciting. You know, it's like, for example, even when you eat something, you kind of, you know, things, it's always this movement of opening and closing, let's call it this way. And a lot of times with the overexcitement, we have a hard time with the parasympathetic, which a lot of times is the closing or is the chilling. Okay, and it's saying here that with the animal, when you have a connection with touch, and this is a true here, you know, about the healing with connection, touch tends to kind of help us restore the parasympathetic levels that we need to reach in order to have a normally functioning, like, energetic body, right? Which is I call the nervous system. So in the sense, it makes a lot of sense. In other words, there's a level of restoration that happens because it's almost like it's saying here, dogs and animals, and, you know, let's say animals in general, especially pets, they have the ability to heal to restore the parasympathetic, um, like I say, imbalances. Let's call it this way. Okay, so it doesn't. So okay. Interesting. A very interesting. Okay, so okay, Craig. But I was like, you know, guys, isn't it? I think it's so heartwarming. I think, you know what I mean, like all the stories, because of the time we're dealing with the trash peoples, you know, during the world. But now it's so nice to talk about animals, you know, because it's nice because, you know, they never do what President is doing. Okay, so here. Okay, so all right, now Sherry L. Okay, we'll go Sherry. Okay, Sherry L. Okay. So. All right. So, okay, here, let's see here. Okay, Snowy. Did he understand I had to do what I had to do for his sake? He looked so sad at the end, like he couldn't understand why I was doing this. Oh my God, it must be so hard. Like, okay, so Snowy. Did he understand? Okay. Did he understand? Did he understand why we did what we had to do? So, well, it's just saying, it's saying here, Sherry, that basically, how do I say this? It's sort of like that the analogy I've said before about battery, right? When the dog feels sick, it feels like a battery is slowing down or like lowering the battery. So their instinct is, because they have the connection to us, is that we're gonna, so like they are hungry, they come to us. So they have this, are you gonna help out? Because you're like, only, like, you know, that dog face, like, how are you gonna help me? Huh? like, like, oh, like, help me. But it's not as if he thought, it's like he did not think that you were responsible. It's like it's a natural instinct. And he was so, it's, to me, guys, when they feel sick, reminds me a little bit like, when you're, like I said, you were lightheaded or like low blood sugar feeling, like, oh, I need to sit down kind of feeling. Okay, so that's my sense. Like he was like naturally looking to you. And so does it forgive? Okay, so yeah, no. That there's a, okay, there's a, there's an understanding there, okay? So 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 okay, now I have a question here, guys, and I hope, I think it's very interesting though. She doesn't, it's like that was it. That was like they had a great life, okay? Like, right? I don't think she, no, I don't, she let me die like this? Are you serious? No. No, no, not like that at all. It's very different. It's just like it's a natural instinct. It's like I said, we were so empathetic that we interpret their reaction the way we would. Like if we're looking at someone, help me, we would feel like, oh my God, that's how we would, right? If a person had done that, somebody didn't help, but that's not how it is at all for them. For them, it's that they know they're connected, and at the slightest sign of something strange, they come to us. Oh, hello. And so that was a natural tendency, okay? Okay, so the other thing I want to ask, guys, okay, I want to ask this. I know it may be a kind of a difficult topic because Sherry brought it up here. When we a lot of times we put animals down. Is that it, what is that about? Like, it's to minimize their suffering, okay, and also there's not much that we could do. So tell us about this process, okay? Because I know, you know what I mean. Like, obviously, if you would, oh, you sick. Let's just kill you, whatever. Like, it's not the same. You can do that to humans, but animals, it makes sense. But I want to understand more about that. Okay, is it okay? Because I understand, totally understand it, but I like to understand. I don't think they. Okay, so tell me. So what about that? Tell us about the putting the animal down because there's not much we could do. Yeah, because it's saying here, guys, it's saying here that let's say the same concept of the battery. Think about the battery, right? The lowering. So when the dog feels like that, there's lowering of the blood sugar, and it's like, ooh, like that kind of like feeling like there's the connection is thinning. It's not that the connection to you is thinning, but the connection to energy. So when the energy is very low, it can't function because it's sort of, how do I explain it? It's like we have the, okay, so it's almost like we have the ability to have these mechanisms that are, it's not that we're self-healing, but there's a richer, a deeper kind of sense of existence, our idea of ourselves, consciousness, all those things, right, that we have that they don't have. With animals, it's kind of like, imagine if you felt dizzy and you're never going to not be dizzy, and the dizziness detracts from the connection. So when you, let's say, quote unquote, pull the plug, you are helping them. It's saying because you are helping them not feel, because it's almost as if when they are that sick, they are disconnected already. They feel like they're away from source. So if you minimize that feeling by doing that. So is it okay? So it's okay. Okay, is it okay? Okay, for example. Oh, and I have to tell you something about the reading I did with Diane about her dog. It was very interesting because the dog had just passed away, and he had left signs for her around her house and everything like that. And she was so connected to the dog that she was able to kind of revive the dog. Like the dog heard her cries, like, please don't go. And he didn't go because it's about this fostering this connection. But then the dog was like, I was supposed to go. And I stayed behind because she was so connected to me, but it was my time, and she needed to accept that it was my time. And I survived, and she confirmed that the dog survived for a long time, many times. So it's like it's honoring. It's like it's more from the dog's perspective. It was about the dog having this, how do you call it, like taking care of us. It wasn't about them, it was about us. They're like, oh my God, they need me so much, I need to like hold on. But it was beyond the time that was supposed to stay. It was just to help her because she was so, you know what I mean? It's like, don't worry about it, it's like it's their time, you know it's their time. So that was very interesting, no, very moving, very moving. Okay, so okay, oh my God, guys, I hope okay, so that answers. So in other words, it's okay, Sherry, okay, about Snowy. I think it was just the look of sadness on his face. It was his natural instinct, but it had nothing to do. It had a great life, and okay, So this is good. You did the right thing. Okay. 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 Next. Now Delana has a lot of Delana. Oh, did she send? Oh, that's right. Delana. She had. Wait, where? Yeah, she had a lot of questions, but I remember I was like, oh my god. Okay. Okay. So Issa, Joe, Mindy, Hidi, Kabuki, Fluffy. There are others, but those are the ones I like to know about. Delana, I may not have enough time to go over all of them, but there's the first two questions here we could do. Okay. So, any message they have for me or my daughter, will they be all with me when I pass? Does Fluffy have any message for my mother and sister? Kabuki and Fluffy are cats, both lived during my teens. Oh, but that's right. I had mailed her because I wasn't sure if it was like, are they cats or dogs, or but just generally. Okay, so do they have messages? It's kind of interesting here because I feel like the message, the collective message here for Delana is that is that is that they're like, oh, you had an orchestra, like having all these animals opened up her energetic field. Like, I'm not saying that the fact that she had animals made her soul like more advanced, but I have a sense that there's like a lot of spirituality in that home of her family, like having all these animals, kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. Like there's a lot of light around her house, or there's just something about it, like because they showed me themselves as like these layers of light, if there's such a thing. Okay, so was it okay, so that's what it was. Okay, and uh and that's part one. Now about the cats. The cats, they was interesting. They had the same similar feeling. Like they're like, oh, so they gave us a great kingdom, because they come in and it's like their space. They gave us a great space, and we took care of it. And I do think, again, I feel like I'm not saying that others don't have psychic connections to animals, but the role for her, and so I'll talk about mother, the sister. I feel like her mother and her sister, is that right? Them about the question. I think they were going through moments that were difficult, or they had suffered a lot also, but or some sort of psychic attack. There's something about the cats were like angels in the way that I don't explain it. They were like fighting in the energetic realm. They were like really watching out the energetic realm. And I'm getting a sense here, guys. I know it sounds like really strange because, like I said, I am much more of a dog person, to be honest. But I feel like the sense I'm getting here about cats specifically is that they fight just as dogs fight you in the physical world, cats fight in the energetic world. Does it make sense? It's very interesting. So if people feel like they have like a haunted, there's something, you know what I mean? There's some sort of haunted house, or like, I don't explain it. There's something here where the cats are like, yeah, bring us in, and we'll fight the monsters in the spirit world. Because I remember, guys, remember how I was telling you that I'm thinking that I went through some difficult moments in my life, and there was one time when I was going through this, and then somebody asked me to house sit a cat, and I stayed there, and the cat was like always like, not for me, like constantly like that. And it was like, because there was spirit. I think there was spirits around me at the time, honestly. And it was like, what you doing? What you doing? What you doing here? Huh? Because I think also, guys, and this is for another whole other discussion. This conversation about the spirits. There's like the higher spirits, and there's spirits that are like kind of like earthbound, and those are usually not very good. Okay, there's lost souls and stuff like that, but they just have this like antenna. I don't know how to explain it. They're like, yeah, we watch out. They will watch out for the house, but in the invisible realm of the house. Isn't that interesting? Find it interesting. Find it interesting. Interesting, no? No, I find it really very interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. 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 So next, interesting, no? Okay. Okay. So I have to move on, Dylan, because there's many questions. Okay. Now. Okay. So Delana complete. Okay. Now it's Janie. Now Janie had a question. I made the exception for Janie because she has a question about a living dog. Okay. His name is Chico. Chico seems to have something bothering him. I need to know so I can fix it. Like she said that he's been quiet lately. Okay. And then I forgot she had some other question. I'm sorry, Jane. There, I got so many emails. I think she added something else, but since it wasn't in the form, what was the question about? I don't know. She added. Let me just quickly look here. So, okay. So what's going wrong with Chico? I feel like he could be a little sick. Okay. I don't mean that it's like don't get too worried, but I feel like it could be that the dog is a little bit sick on that because I see something in the intestine or stomach, like it's kind of like taking care of itself. The energy levels are lower here. Okay, can my dog see the ghost of my niece Tony? I have her ashes. Okay, that's a question. Can my dog see the ghost of her niece Tony? Can they see the ghost of the can 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 they see the ghost of her niece Tony? I think it's a little different. I feel like dogs, how do I say it? I think they can sense, it's a little bit okay. Cats, they feel honestly, cats, guys, they seem to me like very like they have conversations. I've conversations. I've conversations. I've conversations. They have almost conversations like, oh, how they always like, I don't know, explain it. They just seem to have more conversations with the other with like the other types, like with the other spirits. But dogs, they're much more about like understanding the vibration basic, their own basic level, basically their level. So they can sense if there's a good, how, okay, for example, it's telling me, how dogs are right away, how, okay, dogs right away, they don't like somebody. They don't like somebody, they're like, what? No, no, stay away. Isn't that fascinating? Like the dogs, they can pick up. They know right away if a person is bad. They don't even go near them. Okay, they just know because they like. I can read. They're like, I can read your aura. Not read the aura, but they can. They feel like every person has a vibrational thing that they feel comfortable with. The people with a certain vibration, and that's why they love kids. The kids are pure. You know, I'm not. You know what I mean? Like they just have a connection with like purity, and they gravitate. Yeah, the vibe, and they don't like somebody, they don't like somebody. Forget about it. No. And Perezera does not like animals. Interesting, no, because they know I know you, bitch. I know what you're about. I know what you're about. Because guys, it's fascinating. Did you see that? I never forgot. The eagle was biting Perezera. The eagle's like, bitch, I know what you're about. Okay, guys, can I ask a question? This is like totally unexpected. So since I saw the image, I want to know what did the eagle do it? Why did the eagle do it? Did the eagle know the president was a bad person? I need to know. I need to know information. Okay, so what's the eagle thinking? So the eagle, the energy was very unstable. I need to be quiet. I'm here. I'm okay. It's fine, but I need to be quiet. This guy is like he's like shifty energy. You know how Trump is a shift. Yeah, he's very like kind of like he doesn't like to have. He doesn't like to touch. Yeah. So this is it. Interesting. No, Janie, I just said the guy. So the question is, do the dogs see the ghost? No, they don't see the ghost. They feel the energy coming in. Okay, so maybe that they feel good, but it's not the same. That was not the same as like seeing a ghost, actual ghost. It's like they feel something. Okay, like a good feeling. They may be excited about it, but I don't know that they see. It's not the same way that we see. It's different. Okay, okay. So anyway, so yeah, the eagle's like, this guy, get away from me. Get away from I need to sit, I need to relax. Because it was on the glove, right? So the animal has to be like, I have to be cool. Like if you have to just be quiet, because I'm sitting here on your glove. If you're gonna go like have a tantrum, shut up, touch your mouth. That's what it's like, touch your mouth. Like he's like this, like kind of like that, doesn't like it's like just quiet. Just be quiet. I'm sitting here. I need to sit. I need to relax. I need to be sitting, kind of relax. So, so that was it. Okay. So okay. So that was it. That was it. Okay. All right. So interesting. Yeah. So the question, yeah. So this is it. So Janie, so just to know, so the thing about Chico is like I do think you should take him to the vet. Okay. And then because he has some discomfort, I think that there's some sort of like low energy thing going with him. some sort of pain. I don't know. He doesn't feel like he wants to play, or like he's not as healthy, or maybe he needs more walks. I don't know what. Something is not so doing so well for him. Okay. And then the other thing is like, can the animals see the ghost? No, they can may be able to sense a certain vibration. Okay. So next question. Next question. Okay. Oh, Janie. Wanda S. Wanda S. Oh, Wanda. I remember I read it. So it was kind of like a moving question here about Wanda. Let's say. Spark. Okay. Spuds. Spuds. My son Joe passed, and I would like to know if his dog is with him. Spuds, right? I would love to know if they are together. Oh, was moving. Right? Yeah, I think so. And I see, and I see like, I don't know, it's so interesting here to see this Wanda. Like when your son passed, I see that there was a, not a, I don't know if it's symbolic, but there was a bird, like a dove picking up, maybe this is divine, okay? The divine picking up his soul. I believe that, guys. When it come, the soul goes. It's like a light goes. With it. It just becomes light. And I don't know. So why? But why? Oh my God! I feel like I'm crying because I was like, I kind of feel like her son Joe was I don't know if he's like. I feel like he may have suffered a lot. Okay, in this life, but that he was a very. And it's not that because he suffered, he's a very heightened spirit, but he was a very like protect. Like I know it sounds contradictory, right? That I know it sounds contradictory to say that that like a person suffers and therefore they're what I mean, like with things that are good. Why can't the good people stay? Like like I'm think about this a lot of times. So, but here in this case, I feel like there was like a lot of spiritual elevation coming to take him. Honestly, like Joe, the son. And there was this bird I see. It's like I've seen this before in readings where it's like divine, as a divine, the presence of the divine. And I don't know if maybe one just felt something like more deeper like that about the sun. Okay, that the sun is just seems very high level. Okay, so so this is it. Okay, okay, about the son Joe, and yes, the dog is with him. And like I said, the dog appears to me, it's sort of like that, like this extra note, like a I know the word it comes to me is like baggage, but it's not baggage like we think of emotional baggage. No, it's like this like extra. It's like music. It showed to me like if you think of chords, okay, a note. It's like a chord that supports a note. It's how to explain it. It's how to explain it. It's kind of like a musical note that is heightened in your life, but then the sense of musical notes is more about spiritual qualities. Okay, so there's like it extends certain notes in his repertoire. So it's part of him. In a way, it's an extension of his soul or his personality. So it's always with him, I think. Okay, so but he's there. Your son is there. Oh my God, I don't know if Wanda is on, but it's kind of like intense. So yeah, the son is very, and he protects her, and like I don't know, it's very nice. Okay, so they're together. Yeah, I think so. Okay. All right. Okay. So they're nice. Okay. Have a good one. Okay. Okay. So let's see here. Okay. Oh, guys, I'm sorry it's taking forever, right? It's longer. It's longer than expected, huh? It's longer. Okay. So okay. Jody. Oh my God, guys, I'm still oh my God, 13. Can you imagine? There's like 29. I have to go faster. But it's I'm enjoying, guys. To be honest, I'm gonna try to go as far as possible. But I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying. Okay. And then we know if not, okay, so Jody B. I'm just gonna try it. Okay, Jody B. Jody B. Jody B. Okay, Jody B. Okay, Daisy and Archie. Daisy passed out in February, and I would love to know if she's okay, if she's with Archie, who passed before she did. Did she have a happy life here? I miss Daisy and Archie very much. Yeah, no, totally, totally. No, they're very good. They're very happy. They're like, so it's very, what's interesting here about what I see about Daisy and Archie is that the same. Now it gave me an interesting analogy. For example, that like programming. Okay, so you create some algorithm, right? And an algorithm is like this creates some like a huge number that you can't match. Like in other words, it's almost as if this vibration that we have with specific animals, like the animals you've had, are like this like program, like a number that it matches the other number, your number. So when you go back there to go to the spirit world, you have this like it's like a vibration that is unique. Just easier for us to think of it as numbers, as a very unique number with like millions and billions of characters. But it's a little bit like that. Like every person has a unique vibrational code. Yeah. What's your code? Huh? You want to swipe the code? Huh? But really, like so then it's saying that they have a connection, and it's almost like it's a part of you, really, but not in a. We always want to say that it's a part of me that was gone. No, but it sounds so bad, but that actually is a good thing because it's saying that there's a line, it's a thread to the spirit world that is with the animal, and when you go there, just go right away to them. So it's just like it's an expansion of our soul consciousness to the other side. There's another line. So yeah, they're happy. They're not happy. So okay. And guys, you know what? Actually, this question, I'm gonna ask a question that it was not what she asked, okay, but it's connected to what she asked, which is like, okay, so for example, those like, okay, for example, like those the animals that are abused, okay, they die, okay. Those people are very nice people who do it, huh? They're even trash people are like even evil, right? So you see these animals are like abused, like collectively abused or abused separately, and like for us, it's like, how could you do that? But what happens to these animals? Do they have? Because every time I look at animals, they're very happy. They're just in their element. But what happens to those? They suffer. They're like suffer by the hands of humans. What happens? What happens to them? Okay. Do they have some sort of trauma? Like, what is it like? What is it like for them over there? Oh, interesting. Wow. What's so interesting? It shows that like animals in some ways, it's not that they don't have the same level of consciousness, but they are closer. It's almost like they're closer to God in a different way. So in other words, they're kind of like a material that picks up on us, like picks up on energies that are around us, but that they can transform. They don't have the same like you need to. The dog is not like, oh, what did I go through with my family? Like, oh, like it's not the same. It's just like there was a God. God helped God expand the depth of a person's life, so that with the person that causes the pain in the animal, it's saying here, I become your karma, bitch. I'm your karma. Yeah. So the person that creates pain in the animal has to. It's not the person has to live it there, but it has to be something they have to work through. They have to work through. Yeah. Right. So it doesn't hurt. It's, in other words, it doesn't hurt the animal. It hurts the person who hurt the animal. In other words, it's something that I really have to, because guys, it's saying it's sort of like those people that I'm not. I don't want to compare because it's all of it is awful, but it's sort of like we hear stories of people hurting children. Those vulnerable animals are like that. They are vulnerable. You can't, they can't defend it. Like, okay, have you seen videos of people abusing dogs? Like the dog is like this, and then they're hitting the dog. How could you do that? To me, it's like this is like totally, sometimes maybe the dog was like biting, it's like the sweet, cute dog, like, oh, hello, lady, what's up? That hates the dog or something. What is wrong with people? It's like it's very hard to comprehend. But what it's saying here is that it's the person who creates the harm that is like it becomes how do you say this, guys? At the end, okay, so the person goes to the other side. They have to work through. Well, it's not they go to hell, but they have to work through things. Okay, so the dog goes with them. The dog goes with them and becomes the stuff they have to work through. Does it make sense? It's sort of like the dog. It's saying that the animals always go with us, and when you abuse an animal, the abused animal goes with you. because the animal in general is a kind of is a form of divine energy. So if you harm divine energy, it's a problem. It's a because guys, there's different kinds. Like sometimes you feel like, oh my god, I harmed a person, or there was an accident, or I said something I didn't mean. Like different things you feel bad about, right? But harming an animal, an innocent animal, for no reason, I don't know. It's really saying it's saying here among the list of things that are bad is just awful because it shows that you're willing to, you know what I mean? Like so so interesting. So then Reverend here is asking, how can we collectively stop animal abuse? I think this is pretty. The answer here is in some ways I think it's pretty clear. Is that you have to improve the human vibrations because it's the human abuse. The abuse is all because there's a lot of broken people in the world. So they they abuse animals because they feel like animals are not. When in fact it's saying here, when you abuse animals, even when you see people who hunt and kill an animal for no reason, you're killing divine energy. Think about it. Those animals are like angels in some way. Oh, you harm an angel? You're gonna harm an angel? Oh, you're gonna have to learn. So it's saying here that's why you have to be aware of like not to be positive. We'll talk about it before, unrelated to animals, but generally that we have to like project the positive and make sure the light goes up and up and up and fight for a better world because humanity can be harsh, can be bad. Okay, all right, guys, I have to continue. Okay, but and I just thought it was interesting. Okay, so okay. I have to go faster. I know, please. And I'm sorry if this is maybe a little boring for some people. And I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna close. Okay, but I want to do it. Okay. Okay. So Felix. Okay. So Felix Maxwell. Can you forgive me for the pills, Maxwell? I did not know until you passed that they taste especially bad to dogs. I miss you every day. Okay. Oh no, my God! It's so interesting. It's so interesting, guys. We're asking about the pain, animal and like animal abuse and animal pain. But it's saying here, it's like even if it's like you may have fed him something that caused him pain or like the medicine was bad, it was just the dog was disconnecting. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh, it's him, it's him. No, it had nothing to do with that. It was just like disconnecting, and it was fine. It wasn't even. I think by the time it was not about the taste of it. It was just like it didn't. It's like basically the dog has no. It's like you were so nice, like you were a great father to the dog. Okay, it's like had a great life. It's just like one day he turned off, like they do. Some people die, well die, including animals, right? So life from this life, right? So it just like went off. But it's so interesting. Like no, it's like the dog does not register anything at all. Like it was just like there was a moment he turned off the dog. Okay, so it has nothing to do with the like no way, no, it's not how it is for us. Like oh, it doesn't. It's not the same. It's just like the dog was already when the animals get sick, they turn off faster in a way. You know what I mean? Like when the time they were really quite sick. So no. It's like no, had a great. It was very sweet dog and kind of very very adorable, like very loving and kind of completely 100% harmless. And I really do not think at all that he thought they were like no way, no way, not at all, not at all. That he was a very sweet like yeah no. I know what you mean because it's like sort of like he was like such a loving animal, like so sweet, so like those, I mean, all dogs are nice, okay, but some are just like so like, oh my god, hi, like say hello to everybody. It was just so sweet. So you just feel like you were like a bad person that you gave him this thing, but don't worry, really was not at all like how he experiences this. And he's excited. He's he's always with you, I think, in some way or other, okay? You know. No. Okay. Okay. So I'm see. Okay. So now I'm gonna move on to the next question. But the raffle girl wrote a. I said I'm not listening to comments, but I am. But it's interesting. Okay. But she brought up something that I kind of want to ask also. Just a rhetorical question. Okay. But it's here. So I agree that they're divine while helping humans to help animals is a very benevolent and elegant answer. Thank you for doing this. It is healing me, guys. I have a question. Okay. and it's not. I don't necessarily need like a full answer or something, but you know how I what I noticed. Why is it that, and it's not criticism, okay, for us or whatever, but I feel like, I love dogs. To be honest, I why am I so much more empathetic towards dogs than people? Like, why is it that we can have like homeless people or people suffering, but we don't let stuff happen to dogs? Why? No, I'm just curious, okay? If God made us perfect, right? Like in some way, or why can't why? I'm just thinking. I'm just wondering, why can't we, like, I mean, I know the answer. I think it's so much very much more complicated, right? But I'm just wondering, why is it that we it's so much easier for us to be like, oh, it's a dog. Obviously, dogs don't go to college. Dogs don't, it's not as expensive. They don't fight back, right? So, but why is it? So why is it that we can? Yeah, I was saying it's interesting. I'd say there's no comparison because animals are like pure energy. They're, in some ways, it's saying here that animals are like, they are just a very pure form of energy that has no complex. I mean, they have their complexity, but not at all complex. Because it's saying that social political problems that cause homelessness and poverty are very different. Okay, and it's like we have. It's much. It's like you cannot equate. See, do not equate them. It's like dogs are a bit like there's. It's part of human instinct, and the problems of poverty. This is something that humans, as we grow, have to really tackle. This is those societal problems that we have to tackle as humans, and that's why it's difficult because we have to come together, we have to fight for things, we have to so it's interesting. Right, so it's interesting. So that's why it's it's just it's about complexity levels, in other words. Okay, so okay, so okay, so okay, completed. Okay, I did Jane, right? Patricia T here. Okay, Julie Cocker Lab Mix came to our Army family when we lived in Italy 1973-76. She moved with us to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, then to Baltimore, and then to Texas, where she died in 1989. We loved her so much. My question, she was very social. How is Julie's social life in heaven? Oh, cute. Interesting for her. Guys, it's very interesting. I see here it goes back to the thing about that I had talked about, vibration, right? Like kind of like this orchestra of vibrations or some sort that haven't it's like it's how do I say this? Some sort of similarity. There's analogies to how we experience. There's a different kind of world there. It exists in a different form. So it tells me all the time. It's sort of like imagine like an orchestra of vibrations. So yeah, each little dog has its own. It's kind of like a huge, gigantic vibrational field, and that it's not always. They don't always appear like how they exist in the other world. It's more like they are stored as like vibrational chains, if that makes some sense. Okay, so it's not as if they it's, how do I say this, it's like humans create images, right? We create worlds that are closer to images in some way, and that it's not as if they're like hanging out the dogs. It's like they're not like hanging out with other dogs the same way. It's that when humans come to the world, to that other world, they give it form in a way that it's like, I mean, I said before, I forgot which one of you one time asked, what about Jesus, can you talk to, and I was like, Jesus in that other world doesn't exist anymore in the way that we see Jesus. It's like it's so advanced that it's just pure light. It's not, when Jesus came, it was because we had to understand divine values, right? But it's in the other world, most things are like it's about essentially vibrations. And when in order for us to really understand it, it has to be put into form. We see what I'm saying? So it's only within the world of humans, then, the human part of the, other side, like if there's such a thing, it's when dogs exist, but ultimately as a group, they are part of a gigantic vibrational entity, if there's such a thing. Does it make sense? So it's not the same as the world over there is not organized exactly the same way that we think. So, okay, so does it make sense? Okay, so okay, how's Julie? So in other words, I feel like she's part of this orchestra of vibrations, and I think her like the connection to her is to whoever was. It's almost like a human limb. This is what I think. Okay, they're part of like our own vibrational experiences. You know what I mean? So in other words, she exists there when you come back, and other people in your family may be there too. She's there with them because it's not that she's a relative, but it's sort of like she's part of that. You guys just think about it, like I was saying. Imagine like a scanning code, except that it's gigantic. That's how you identify the vibration. So let's say that you have a scanning code. All the families have similar, certain numbers match, and the animal also matches some numbers within the other. You know what I mean? Think about it that way. It's a bit like a numerical equation, but it's a little bit like that. Like you can identify it's part of your DNA. Let's say DNA, maybe a better example. Yeah. So okay, okay, all right. Yeah, but it's the world. You know what I mean? It's the world. The human will contextualize the world in that from that perspective. Okay. Now Patricia. Now Joanne at S. Joanne S. Okay. Okay, Skipper had a long life at 19, 18 with me. His first year made him neurotic. Then I adopted him from a Jack Russell Terrier rescue. I had to put him to sleep in November 19, 2018. So next week is 1 year anniversary on the other side. Okay. Did he have a happy life with me? I also lost two elderly cat brothers a year apart. Siamese looking came in July, and his brother Cuba. Are they all together? Thank you. Okay. Yeah, it's so interesting. Are they together? Yeah, they're part of like I think, like I said, they're part of this group, this vibrational group that we all have in our quote unquote DNA, spiritual DNA, if there's such a thing. Okay. So what I thought was interesting here about this case, it's funny when I read the question when it came in, and I remember this feeling, but like this dog is if you were around, if you had read this, I'm sorry, you there was a one of the readings I did today that talked about this idea that the rescue dogs are a way to rescue us, right? That they allow us to experience something that we need to develop within ourselves. Okay. So so that is the thing about the neurotic is like you had to learn how to deal with how to calm him down, how to give the dog stability so that you would give yourself stability. So this is a no, he's totally okay. He fulfilled his mission. And then the cats also. Okay. But like I said, I still get this clear separation between dogs and cats. That cats are almost like psychic cleansers or psychic environment cleansers. They really like, they really are. They help with the psychic universe or like the light. You know what I mean? Cleaning and dealing with that. They see because I still see them they're together, but they have a very different function, which is that to take care of the physical environment of a certain territory. They're much, even though we always think of dogs as territorial, for me, the cats are much more about a space. And therefore, everything that is involves the space, including things that we ourselves cannot see. Okay. So are they together? Yeah. Like I said, they are, but it's more related to you than to them. Does it make sense? The relationship that connects them is you and your family and not them alone. You know what I mean? So they're them to each other. So that's the answer. Okay. Okay. So okay, close. Okay, next. Cheryl M. Okay. Haley. Was she okay that we put her down shortly after her cancer diagnosis? Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I had I had this discussion earlier about animals, right? And how what is it about putting them down? Is it okay? What is the difference? It says yes. because they start to kind of like melt away. The connection, the sense of energy goes away. So if you reconnect with them, it's okay. It's totally okay, and you did the right thing, and you gave a great life, gave the animal a great life, and the animal gave you right something else in return. And it's saying here that if the animal felt like they really fulfilled the mission, and it was just a way to go. Okay, okay, so that's my sense. Okay, so this is, it seems very stable here from my perspective. Like there was no doubt. There was no doubt that you cared for her so well. But it was saying here is that the way that the dogs present themselves to me in general is that, but I was the experience you're supposed to have. It's not. It's almost as if the dogs are not like self-aware entities the way we are. It's more like this is the energy package that you're supposed to go through, that was supposed to lend you, and not lend you, to add something to your life. Okay. 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 So next, Daniel V. Daniel V. Oh, Poikin, a cat. Hey, Poikin, how are you doing since you died? I miss you. Is Sissy, his sister, with you? Is Sissy with you? Yeah, it's funny. I think he's like the queen of the castle. The relationship. It's funny here that he's like the he's like it's my house. I had a great I had a great. It's like I said, guys. I'm still getting this image that cats are like the guardians of the spirit. Like a spirit, the spiritual world in some ways. So they're like, that was great. And that the sister, she's there, but she's playful. She's like playing with him. She was like, it's so interesting to me. It feels very yin and yang, but like the man he's more like manly, like more like cooler, and kind of like more in charge. And she's like, hey, sweet and kind of funny. So they play together. But I feel like they were meant to have the same house, really sisters in every way. I think that it has some more to do with like this connection to yeah, to what do I call it? Yeah, to the space. Okay, that they were supposed to share this space or clean the space together, clean up the, in other words, the psychic space together. Those are those. Okay. Okay, so next. Dandria R. Is that right? Dandria R. Dandria, okay. Okay, so okay, so the pet's name is Shifa. Did I know him in a past life, and or is he a reincarnated pet of mine from his lifetime? Shifa is my dog who is living. I've had several family pets growing up and wondered if he was reincarnated from a pet who passed this lifetime. Hope this makes sense. Okay, so you know what I'm getting here? I see that there's all these other dogs. They're actually similar physically, perhaps on the other side, okay? But it could even be that this dog, I don't think it's the same. I think it could be like a brother or like even a twin, but it's not the same. I feel like, and I don't know why, I feel like they're saying here that it's, think of like, okay, it's telling me here something like, life experiences, right? Even if you have an experience that is somewhat similar, it's never exactly the same. And they're saying the same thing here. Dogs are like experiences. You could not ever be exactly the same. It could even be similar, but it could never be exactly the same because we come to your life when you need to experience certain things. So, interesting, no? I thought it was very interesting. Interesting. There's all my house. Yeah. Interesting, no? Okay. Okay, so that's the answer. So no, he's not in other words, no, he's not he's connected to the other dogs, yes, but I don't feel like he's the same. It's just part of maybe a dog family or something, yeah. Like so, yeah, exactly. Snowflakes, like something, yeah, exactly. So, okay. Okay, so okay. Okay, now let's go here. Dandria, Cheryl I. Hey, Barbara, I don't know why I didn't. The name. Okay, so Okay, so Mama Kitty, she just died 9-4. Has she been with me before this life or another? And if so, what animal? No, I think it very unique. I don't see no. I mean the life before. I don't know. I'm trying to think here. So I don't, honestly, like I said, I think of animals, the way it's being shown to me here, is that it's sort of like an energetic note. So the under what we how we understand souls, let's call it that, is less applicable to animals in the sense that they are much more like the idea that they will be quote unquote reincarnated with you assumes that they have the lives with because the purpose of reincarnation, all those things, is that we go through certain things. We have to learn certain that, from what I understand here, okay, in general. But animals don't have necessarily the same tasks from a spiritual perspective. They don't like, oh, I have to think about what did I do with this life? What is, so it's not the same. So in other words, I think it's a bit like, for example, these days, okay, um, like these days, you know what I mean? Like I think these days it's a little bit like for example, if I like to eat I would say a hamburger, I like sometimes I like the fish sandwich from McDonald's, okay, like something like that. It's like I can only eat it these days because it was invented, God, around this time. If I went back to the 19th century, there wouldn't be fish fillet from McDonald's. Okay. So similarly, you could this is a little bit like this. Like a dog is kind of a contextual contemporary experience. So you can't replicate the same. That's my sense I have here, okay, but it's not exactly sure. But I talked about the reincarnation animals, okay, but it's not the same. It's more like it's an experience that we need to have, it's like the spiritual sauce that we need to develop, but it's not always about identity the same way that we think of our identity. It's a little complicated. So that's answered. But it's like very. I feel like this cat was very happy. Very like, was so great. You're lucky to have me. Yeah, I'm great. Yeah, like very. Those cats. Sometimes there's like funny cats are kind of funny. Okay, they have this funny personalities. Like they're like, you're lucky. Yeah, you're lucky. You're lucky. I'm around you. You're very lucky, because it's just like like sometimes like, such confidence. Like I'll be like, I need to learn from her. Like I'm so great. Forget about it. So what I'm saying. So yeah. So but she's asking, my last six cats adopted me. Just wonder. No, but I feel like this is the same. It's the same idea that I was talking before about having multiple animals. I think there's like it enhances your life in many ways. It opens up the doors to many things, but it's not the same as a reincarnation. It's complicated. Okay, it's complicated to explain the sense of like the idea of this, but it's more like these they bring you lessons that you need to learn, and it's almost as if they are lessons packaged as animals, as opposed to animals. You know what I mean? The way we think of it as humans. Okay, so I hope it explained, but complicated, but it's a good interesting. Okay, so so here. Okay, now Shala. Okay, so was that right? Where is it? Okay. Okay, so I would like to ask my pet cat Chapette if she'll come back to me. Did I Kate? Okay, so she. Okay, so I wanted to apologize for not being more empathetic. At the time back then, I had four other cats and three dogs. I may not have had enough time with her. Before she died, a plastic bag got caught on her back leg, and she ran away thinking it was chasing her. I didn't help her. I felt she'll figure it out, that it would be better if she learned on her own that it was only a plastic bag, but she didn't. I saw her scared with a plastic bag still stuck to her back leg hours later. A neighbor dog mauled her a few days later, and she died. I hope she'll come back into my life someday. I miss her so much. Does she have any messages for me? Is she around? So that Chapette, the cat. Okay. Okay. So No, it's interesting here. It's interesting because I see here that the cat is like I said, the animals, they have a different life. It's like they see life very differently. So it was just like she was just handling this space. There was something about space, or going around the space and guarding spaces. So did how could you, okay, just simple question, okay. I'm not obviously judging the cat, but like, why did the cat not realize that the plastic bag was just a plastic bag? And why would the cat? Because of the noise. It's saying there's some noises. The cats, especially, they're very sensitive to noise and to like classification. They need to know what, when it's something unknown, they need to know what it is. Okay. So he didn't know what it was. So he was like, got scared. Okay. So okay. Now, okay, so then, and then I think the cat went quickly. Okay, it was mauled by the dog, but I don't feel like it was like a painful. I mean, yeah, I'm sure it's not. Oh, I was eaten. I was fine, but or like, like that. But it's more like, it's just when it goes, it goes. Okay, and I think, but the if anything, it's saying something's kind of interesting here. Like, saying watch your psychic space, or like make sure, it's just like the role I was saying, the role that I had. I was like, I was chasing these different psychic spaces in some way, because it's saying their role is understanding of physical reality, right? So if anything, is like I was there to watch the psychic space and to make sure there was like a unified psychic space. And it was not okay. The unified psychic space is about today, but then it was like it was always kind of running around, and it was like figuring out where it belonged, or what, So but I feel like in some ways, because it's saying here, we don't, like I said, they don't have like a mission in the way that we have a mission, right? It was just saying that it lived to understand certain spaces. And it's like it didn't feel like there was a lot of stability, or like it's not like, okay, I'll just say it. Okay, the other cats that I've talked to them, no, they're much more like, it's my territory here. Like I'm the queen, or the whatever, the castle. And where it was, there was more cats, or it wasn't necessarily clear who the owner was finding. I don't know, explain it. It was a little bit more chaotic, but it was exploring all these other possibilities. So like it was just kind of, curious and all those things. So it's just like, so this is it. Okay, so that's the story. So I don't know if the dog comes. I mean, sorry, the cat comes back. It's saying, don't ask for a cat. Ask for the lesson. Just say, what lesson do I need to learn, and get the cat that's going to fit it. You may not know the answer until you live with a cat. So that's the sense. That's it. It was all about having a kind of unified psychic space. So when you're ready, get another. But I don't think the dog. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, explain it. It's just like they are guardian of spaces, and it's about you having a space for them, like providing some sort of space that they can rule over. Okay. So that's my sense. Okay, but it's not. That's that's the answer. That's the sense I got from it. Okay. So, but it's very adventurous. So, kind of like, because the cats I've seen thus far are very much house cats. You know what I mean? Like house cats, and like they have their own. They know their space. I own this space. I control the space. And this cat didn't feel this way. It was like kind of like a little bit, both curious, but also a little bit like maybe there was, you said here, there were other cats and dogs or something. It was like competition. Okay, there was more competition. So okay, all right. Now I have to move. Okay, almost like, oh my god, I may have to get water break 1 second. So I am at 22. Francis L. Francis L. That was Francis L. Okay. Okay. Tristan, why did you become my dog, and who are you living with now? So this is one of those questions that I didn't quite understand. So I don't know if, okay, my question is, I don't know if she's here. Okay. If Francis is here, mesmerized. Okay. So her name, but because to me, it's not clear whether the dog has passed away, or, okay, why did you become a dog? Who are you living with now? Do you mean now, today, or what is I don't understand. Okay. Doesn't make sense. It's kind of like, who are you living with now? Is it because to me when I read this question, it sounds a little bit like the dog is lost and where are you now? I know, but so where's the dog? Is the dog passed or the dog is lost? The dog passed, right? I don't know. That's what I just would like to understand the question a little bit more. Oh, okay. 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 Makes sense. Okay, just see here. Why did you become my dog? Okay, and who are you living with now? Yeah, but okay. So the thing about the why did you become my dog? It was like again, it's a note. It's kind of like you needed to okay. No, you needed to. It's a strange question to be honest. Like you, if, so you were thinking if somebody's well, that's like I don't know. This sounds like a really strange question. Like somebody else was supposed to adopt. But why? So I don't understand. Why do you even think of this? Sounds strange. Wait, you were the one who adopted the dog, right? So that was supposed to happen. Why are you thinking it's so strange that you think, okay, so why somebody else was supposed to adopt? No, that's why you adopted the dog because you're supposed to adopt the dog, right? Right? I don't know why. What is it? It's so strange that it occurs to you to think that. I don't know. Right? To me, it seems very clear. Like you're supposed to, like, right? Because you adopted the dog because you're supposed to adopt the dog. Oh, okay. Oh, so then you fell in love with the dog. That's good. No, that's good. So she felt okay. So it's so interesting. Even the question that you had was like you don't seem to feel ownership or like or obviously you're connected, so you're going to see him. Who he's living with now is like I said, as per what I had said before. It's not how it is. They don't live in a world of dogs. They live in a world of humans, right? So they're some way a part of you. They're an accessory to your life experiences. So when you go, you're going to see the dog, but it doesn't exist in that world. It only exists as an energetic form. Only when the humans come do they become kind of become like images or like dog-like to the experience. So does it make sense? It's a little complicated to explain it, but it's sort of like it's almost like we have the ability to see them as images, but they're more like energetic fields or something, like waiting for you to like, does it make sense? So yeah, so I don't. It's interesting you said the thing like, oh, was he living with who he's living with? He's not living with anybody. I don't think he's just there waiting for because you contextualize him, you create the world, the concept of the world for him. He in the other side he lives as an energy field, and the reason why you're supposed to own him is because you're supposed to pick up, because you know how people say like, oh, I was walking by a pet store or I went to this place and I saw this dog, or it's like a love, what do you call it, soulmates. You're supposed to experience that with the dog. You're supposed to be like, that's the reason, like you kind of connect on a psychic level with the dog. Yeah, yeah. It's true. That's what I think. That's what I think is that there's a lesson there for all of us. We're together forever, forever and ever we try together forever we do. So okay. So next one. Okay, so interesting. That was interesting. Okay, okay. So it's just that, like is the falling love, soulmates. We're the soulmates. We're the soulmates. Okay, okay, okay. Maureen L. Maureen. Let's say Maureen. Maureen. Okay. My dog Ace died 2 years ago in August after a trip to Canada. He got sick. We brought him to the vet. She did tests and couldn't find anything wrong. He died at home a few days later. It was evening and he had recovered enough to chase a stick earlier that day. My question is, what did he die from and where is his spirit now? I sure wish we had an autopsy. Okay. So I kind of have a question about Ace. So how did you get Ace? Because I feel like Ace. More, I don't know. Ace, my son. Okay, so this is that's very specific, but I feel like Ace was having some kind of like, I don't say heart problem, but there was something like he was getting tired. It was kind of like getting tired, and it just the heart kind of gave out. But I don't think it was. I think it was a neurological, came from the brain. There was something in the the automatic system of the dog was kind of disordered a little bit, and that created the heart problem. But the heart problem when it happened, it was like, I don't know how to explain it. It was like this electrical thing, some sort of like almost like reminds of epilepsy of the heart, if there is such a thing. So it's like this is go quickly and then okay, but it's not something. It was something electric. I think something like that. That's my sense. It was just like I see that because the heart. I see the heart and like the mouth not malfunction, something like too much or like dysregulated. Even though we went to the doctor and everything. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Yeah, because I don't know why. I'm like, why did he have this thing? Okay, because it's like what this is like. I wonder if he had some sort of trauma. Okay, but I don't think it sounds like he was informed. Why would he have trauma? But there was just like there was just that like there was something where like his nervous system started like there was just something that happened and it kind of like became deregulated and that was like because that's what I felt. I feel like he felt like weird, like it was kind of tired, like oh I don't know how to explain it. Like it was just like kind of like this and like not knowing, and then I feel like it was very sudden, and it gave out. Make sense? Like wasn't something like it seemed fine, and then boom, drop dead kind of feeling. Okay, I don't know. Like oh, bye. But it was because the thing was already kind of like I know it sounds kind of strange to say, like batteries, sometimes you have something like, oh, the battery's like slowing down, boom, then it dies. You can't, no more battery. No, no. So that's it. Where his spirit now. Yeah, but say, so would he have seen it in the autopsy? I think the autopsy may have shown something in the heart, yes, but it's not like he had like a blood, like we have, like sometimes people have blood, high cholesterol, stuff like that. No, it wasn't something that would have been, would have shown on a, you know, I don't explain it. Like it wasn't a blood thing. It wasn't like a obstruction of a valve or something like that. It was more like the beating thing of the system was not so good. Okay, the heart, the heart. Okay, so okay, so more right now. Pamela W. Okay, so I hope it's helpful. Okay, so okay, Pamela. Okay, Buffer. Now, Buffer. Does he hang out with my other Cocker Spaniels that I got after him? Does someone in my family that has passed take? Does he, okay? In other words, is he with a member of my family? Is somebody else taking care of him on the other side? Okay. Buffer. Yeah. I think it's so interesting. I said before, this concept of the like a vibrational DNA, if there's such a thing as spiritual DNA. It's kind of like I see all these like different types of dogs together. But it's like I said, there is somebody in the family who has experienced life with them. But because the dog, then once you have had this kind of like a bond, a very good bond with this animal, the animal enters your DNA. It's almost like that, like not DNA that we understand, but the spiritual DNA. So the spiritual DNA has like I said, think about it as a huge long numerical entity, which is not numbers, but that's the easiest way to think about it, like that, millions of numbers, and some numbers match the dogs. You know what I mean? Because basically whatever is your experience becomes data. Think about it this way. So certain data you share in common with your dogs, okay, and that's how everybody comes together, but only because a lot of times we tend to reincarnate with people in our family, like it's a soul family, they call it, right? So it's possible that there's this connection with that, but you know what I mean, with them. So yeah, so it's not, like I said, it's not as if dogs exist in the same way that they exist here, like we have to feed them and everything. It's more like it's like a soul accessory, let's call it this way. Okay. 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 So Karen. Okay. So this is it. Okay. All right. So completed. Okay. Close. Okay. So now we have Karen B. Karen B. Okay. So in the last few years, 2 of our pets have died. First, two years ago was our cat Mo. Then earlier this year, our dog Digby had to be put down. I don't know how many questions to answer, but I'll just put it there. Okay, so I feel that pets are family members. Let's just see if there's more. Oh, that's right, because I did a thing with the email. Okay. So what? But what is the question? Like, is it the question, Karen? Is it that the dog has died? I'm just trying to think here. I'm just trying to to understand it. So okay, let's look into Mo and then Digby. It's saying here that there's something. Obviously, the one aspect that is said about losing animals is that you almost feel like it's a phase of life. It's kind of like it gives an arch to a certain area of your life, so a certain moment of your life. So similarly here, okay, it's like the lesson that you have to learn through the animal is completed. So, but don't feel bad, if like the sadness is normal, but it happens. So don't worry about it, okay? And okay, so that was just that. There was just, I don't know if that answered the question or if there wasn't much of a question, but okay, had to be put. I don't know if they're good. They had good lives, okay? It's just right. It just happened, but it was supposed to happen. All of this, okay? Okay, so next, okay. Susan C. Okay, so I make it up. I was almost not going to do this question because she's asking about a friend of hers, but I was like, you know what, in this context, it's okay. But just generally, just because she's asking about her best friend, so maybe it's her best friend, but still, I prefer that you have some connection with, it's your animal as opposed to someone else's, right? So, okay, so my highly sensitive and intuitive best friend Sharon lost her cat Louis about 5 years ago in Los Gatos. Believes he was eventually killed by a coyote. To this day, she feels his presence, and it brings her much pain and guilt as she feels responsible for his death. Can we find out why he still haunts her, and how can we help him move on? She still cries every time she feels him, and it hurts me to see that. Okay, Louis. Honestly, I feel like, like I said, Susan, I feel like this is a complicated question because it's not firsthand, like it's not you. But I feel like in some ways, this is more, okay, how do I say this? A lot of times, like I said, a lot of times we project our experiences onto how we believe the animals. It's not to say, okay, that the animal could not be around, but the thing is, how do I say this? How do I explain it? The animals don't feel. Uh, the animals don't feel the same way we do, okay? In other words, I don't know that he felt like just like there was the story of the other animal that was mauled by a dog, right? It was a cat also, like it was like so quick, so they don't feel it. It's not the same way. It's like, oh, bye, like it's very quick to them, okay? So she feels the pain but it's not, there's no way that she could have been how could she be responsible for his death? I mean, it's not, no way. There's no way. Okay. First of all, they have a timeline. They're supposed to live through a certain moment. Okay. And second of all, I don't understand. That's what I'm saying. She needs to deal with the emotional aspect. Like, it's not to say that the cat may not be around, like, didn't suffer, but it's like, it's the emotional drama is her issue. You know what I mean? Like the is intense attachment. I'm not saying that the cat is not important, but it's like she has to understand that the animal is in the other world. They're happy. Animals don't have the depression like like we do, or they're like, oh my god, is some happy or sad. It's like they're, like I said, they're accessories to experiences. So in some ways, she needs to move on. In other words, she needs to let go. Okay, I know, but it's not her responsibility at all. I know, that's it is not at all. It's like things, stuff happens, especially like I said, the animal just didn't really feel it. It was like this quick, okay, because like the coyote is like fast, you know, really. So it's not as if like woo, like it's scary, but it's fast. Like woo, oh, skill coyote, bye. Like by the time you realize it's a coyote, it's like bye. You know, it's not right. So there's no it could, you know what I mean. So this is, it's also thinking of the lessons you're supposed to learn through the cat is over. Like there was like there was an arch, like I was saying. Okay, so you know what I'm saying. That's my sense, is that there's nothing. How do I say this? So how, okay, maybe the question is this, like how could then Sharon not feel, so how could she move on? Because that's my sense, is more about Sharon than it's about the cat. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So what could Sharon do to let go? It's saying here, it's funny, I see the like water, what is it, those bubbles? Like let go and accept that the animal had to be on the other side. Because sometimes, and I'll give you the example of the video I did with Diane. Okay, Diane, she was so attached to the dog that the dog survived many times when the dog wasn't even supposed to be surviving. It's just because the dog felt the attachment. So in this same, similarly here, it's possible that she may want the connection or all those things, but the cat, was an experience that you're supposed to have with the cat, and it's over. The experience is over. He lived a great life, and he died in a way. I'm not saying that it's kind of like, the animal is an animal, and in the animal world, the cat got eaten by the coyote, which is relatively normal for the situation. You see what I'm saying? So it's not as if there's nothing. It's not that it wasn't traumatic, but in some ways, it's better than he was eaten by a coyote than like have cancer. You know what I mean? Like it could have had more pain in different ways. It was just like a sudden thing that nobody was expecting, but it was in the arch of the cat's life. It was meant to happen. So that's the thing. She needs to let go and accept just the way that the cat. Because I feel like there's something about the experiences she had with a cat, or the time she lived with a cat, that feels like there was a meaning and there was a connection. But it's like she needs to ask herself, what else am I supposed to be living? I need to live today, okay? Because the cat's like, I'm fine, I'm fine. It's just I'm fine. I had to go through whatever I had to go through, and the cat does not have the same level. Like I was saying, it has nothing to do with her. She has not responsible. You know what I mean? Those things happen. And the cat didn't. It's like, oh shit! I can't believe she wasn't there. What? Like it just happens. Okay. So I don't know. She shouldn't feel bad like that about. You know what I mean? I understand. I understand why. But it's more about, I think there is some sort of the emotional issue here, is that she needs to be open to new experiences. She needs to do some sort of little ceremony of like, I see butterflies and like the blowing the bubble thing, like let the soul go of the cat, okay, and just thank him for the experiences, and then either have a new animal, but she needs to turn the page. I think it's generally speaking, the cat may the sense of the cat may still be around, but not like the sadness is not the emotions you should attach with the animal experience. The opposite is the joy and like all the things they experience together. Not like, oh my god, the guilt. There's no guilt. There's no need for the guilt. No. Okay. Okay. So I hope. Oh yeah. Okay. 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 So I have another question. Okay. Okay. Right, so it's like she needs to move on. Like it's also like the emotion is not I guess I can say this, it's not super healthy to be. There's no need for her to be like ultra attached to the oh my god, no, the animal was like, I was eaten, but I eat others, I eat rats. Yeah, there was a mice on my path, I've eaten a few. You know what I mean? Like I'm not. Okay, so it's kind of happens, you know. Tell her I've eaten mice my lifetime. I see little baby, huh? Yeah. Ooh, the tasty. Like, you know, maybe she's got some little mice, caught her mice in the similar. But then I was eaten by karate. Oh well. Well, actually, the coyotes sometimes they don't actually eat. They just kind of like do something. It's kind of scary, but okay, okay. So okay, so okay, so complete. Okay, so another part. Okay, so Zane, sweet Jane. Okay, sweet Jane. Okay, so Jane. Bella Vita. Is Bella Vita keeping Grandma company? My mom, Doreen, and can she come visit us here? Bella Vita, Signorina. Bella Vita, Signorina. Okay. No, it's interesting. I think this the very is a cat. Is that a cat? I think it is a cat. Why is that a cat? I don't know why I think it's a cat. I don't know. I don't know if it's a cat. I really don't, but it sounds like a cat to me for some reason. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, so I feel like this animal, okay, yes, like I think the animal is like very some like elegant or like happy with like so yeah, so it's like I said, the thing I explained about the animal DNA kind of connection, yes, it's there. But I also feel like other people have asked this, and I think the animal, if you want to find the animal, you find it in the place where it used to hang out, or like the you can hear it, you can feel it like that, but it's never, like I said, there's nothing I don't think there's anything associated with sadness in animals in general, like I was just saying. I just feel like this dog. I don't know if it's a cat. For some reason, I feel like it's like I don't know, but that is like very like, and I'm very cool, collected, like like confident. Okay, so it's good. It's all good. It's literally like. So if you don't talk to me, you go to my place. Go to like where she used to hang out. So, okay, okay. So here, okay, completed. Okay, okay. Okay. So Rachel A. Sammy and Gizmo. Brothers Sammy and Gizmo died last spring within a month of each other. We love and miss them. Just wondering how they spend their time in the afterlife. I think they're I see them kind of play with each other, but it's funny that I see most of the dogs like in a waiting room, kind of like they're waiting for you. You know what I mean? Like in the sense, like I said, they're more like energy fields than like they don't have the same form, except when a human is there to be with them, then they become like dog. It doesn't make sense. They exist when they are contextualized to exist with a human. They're just kind of like it's almost like a part of us that comes to life when we transition to the other side. But I don't know that they kind of like live in the dog world equivalent. It's a little different. Feels like to me. Okay, so it's because they live like the world is not one to one. It's a little bit different. It's sort of like they're like accessories to us. So that's my sense. Okay, so yeah, so they're ready. They're ready. They're happy. They're like they have a good life. A good life. They're just kind of these energies that came to you. Okay, so Renee. Okay. Sammy. Will I get to be with you after I die? Yes, for sure. And it's like, oh my god, it's so cute. This dog. I feel like I don't know if she was a little younger, or like I don't know if this is recent, but it seems very loving. Not that dogs aren't loving, but I think in a time when she was going through something difficult, I think the dog was there and like very comforting. Like I said, the animals come at different times. Sometimes you need be more playful. Sometimes you need to feel the caring support. Um, so okay, so yeah, for sure he'll be with you, and it's like a happy, like but very caring. Like it felt like this dog was like I had to come to the world to be with her at a time when she was going through something very difficult, and I had to be like the knight in shiny armor feeling. Okay, like I'm there to protect her no matter what. I feel safe and like he help her heal or go through something that was difficult. So that's my sense, guys. So I think I did everybody right that was on the list, and So I hope you have a good one. Okay. And for those of you, I'm gonna do the thing tomorrow as well. Okay. So and the reason why you couldn't register, I don't think I said, is that there was this 8 hour limit. I'm gonna change it so that like you can register up until it's if it's not filled up. So just interesting, just interesting. I don't know if it's necessary to do it all the time. It's not right, but it was I fascinated. Answered questions about that I had many questions about and the nature of our relationships with animals. So okay, all right. So have a good one. Okay, so yeah, tomorrow. By the way, I have this thing, but tomorrow is about veterans. Oh, from the other side, and it's 6 o'clock tomorrow. Okay, okay, all right. I'm gonna post if I oh I it's on the last thing, and I'm gonna post the thing again tomorrow. Okay, okay, all right. See you later, alligators. Okay, bye.